Hi friends, welcome to SGK English for a new video. Today let us learn a story, Should Wizard Hit Mummy by John Updike. So he was an American novelist, short story writer and poet from 1932 to 2009. On the examination point of view, we don't need to know much about him, so let us come directly to the story. Should Wizard Hit Mummy? Before beginning the lesson, let me request you subscribe if you have not, and give me a like and support me please, and enable the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I also request you to visit sgkenglish.com for your answers, short answers and long answers. The concerned lesson, this one link will be given in the description box. Okay, so I request you to visit sgkenglish.com also. Come to the lesson. In the evenings and for Saturday, naps like today's. Nap means short sleep. So a story is going to be told. Jack told his daughter Jo. Jack is the narrator telling the story to his daughter Jo. A story out of his head. Not a history play, not a novel. From his head means a cooked up story. He would make some stories to tell his daughter Jo. This custom began when she was 2, was itself now nearly 2 years old. So it was continuing for the last 2 years. It began when she was only 2. When the daughter was only 2, he began telling her stories. And it was continuing for the last 2 years. You see, it had been continuing for the last 2 years. And his head felt empty. Now, 2 years he had been telling stories of different types, and he felt exhausted, not out of tiredness, but story almost completed. No more stories remaining. You see, his talk became empty. Each new story was a slight variation of the basic tale. So they are all cooked up stories. Each story may be little different from other stories, but basically they are all one and the same. A small creature. The story of a small creature, usually named Roger. Generally, the story of Roger. A Roger fish, Roger squirrel, Roger chipmunk had some problem. So whoever this character may be, he will have some problem, and went with it to the wise old owl. This squirrel or a fish or whatever be, he may have some problem. He will go and consult wise wisdom. The wise old owl. The owl told him to go to the wizard. The owl, very wise, he advised him, you go to a wizard, magician. Okay, na? When we can perform some magic. Not simply magic, some maybe black magic also. Okay, na? They may perform some magical activities, some miracle might happen. So this wizard is able to perform something like that. So the story is in such a way. The owl would advise him to visit the wizard, and the wizard performed a magic spell and solved the problem. He would utter some Om Cream, some magic spell will be uttered, and the magic is being done, and problem is solved. Demanding in payment a number of pennies greater than the number the Roger creature had. He would ask some money, some penny, coin, you see, that more than what is brought by Mr. Roger, squirrel, fish, whatever creature that might be. But in the same breath, directing the animal to a place where the extra pennies could be found. And the wizard would say, you go. The pennies, the money will be there, place will be told. Only thing is that he must go there and fetch it, go and bring it. Okay, now? So it is there, don't worry, you go there and bring the money. Then Roger was so happy, he played many games with other creatures. He would be very happy, so happy. and went home to his mother just in time to hear the train whistle. The train whistle that brought his daddy home from Boston. So he would come back happily. By the time he hears the whistle of train, sound of train coming from Boston, Jack described their supper and the story was over. How they arranged their supper and the story is over. That means the problem is solved. Wizard himself advises Roger, squirrel, Roger skunk, Roger fish, etc. to go and collect the money, and he would come with that money, give it to wizard, problem solved, he would come back home. By the time daddy would be arriving, food is ready, everything is okay. Okay, now an optimistic story, maybe. Okay, not comedy. Okay, so it will come to an end, not a tragedy, but everything always on comedy. Okay, and the story was over. This is the pattern of him telling the he's telling the story. So every story will be slightly different from other stories. Only thing is that the name of the creature changed. Either Roger Fish or Roger Squirrel or Roger Cat or Roger Dog. Creatures will have some problem. The problem is so told to the owl. Owl would advise him to go and visit wizard, and wizard would solve the problem and he would ask some money, but that much money might not be there with this Roger, and wizard would suggest that from where the money can be got, and he would go and bring it and give it to the wizard, problem solved, and by the time he reaches home, father would be arriving, food is ready, they would be happy. So it is a father telling stories to his daughter. Beyond a story and storytelling, there are some social problems discussed here. Very serious social problems are discussed here, that you will see. The attitude of parents towards children, children towards parents, what should be the real thing to do, what you should follow. There is some deeper level meaning in this story that you will see at the last part of the story. Okay. So, working his way through this scheme was especially fatiguing on Saturday. Means tiresome. Saturday means afternoon full. Because Joe never fell asleep. In naps, anyone. Nap means short sleep, no. Now Joe is a 4-year-old daughter, not a small child, not a small kid. She won't go to sleep very easily. So, not getting sleep, he would be tired of telling stories and stories. And knowing this made the rite seem futile. Right means the custom. Okay, so it is the custom of telling stories by changing little name, this that a new story is being made. Another animal, another name, things it will change every time. This owl will be there, wizard will be there, problem solving will be there. It is not working nowadays because she is not getting sleep. The industry is to make her sleep. Now she has become 4 years old. She began questioning. It is not working well. He feels like that. The girl, little girl, not so little anymore. Now not a small girl. The bumps her feet made under the covers were halfway down the bed. So pulling the cover, the bed sheet, you see, she would be sleeping now. So her feet would be standing. You see. With the height like a bump, it reached halfway down the bed. So she is long enough to reach halfway down the bed. Means not a small girl. Their big double bed that they let her be in for naps, and when she was sick, as they allowed the girl to be in that big bed, double cot that parents used to sleep. She is permitted to sleep during the day and when she is not feeling well. Had at last arranged herself. The girl had arranged herself, and from the way her fat face deep in the pillow shone in the sunlight sifting through the dawn shades. You see, she was not getting sleep. She pushed her face towards that pillow, and the light was coming through the window pane towards the room. A pillow shone in the sunlight. Her face was shining in the sunlight. Face deep in the pillow. You see, her face, which was deep in the pillow, showed the sunlight sifting through the drawn shades. Means that means light coming through the window pane. And her face was shining. That means she was not getting sleep. That's all. It did not seem fantastic that some magic would occur. It did not seem so fantastic that some magic might occur, or a wizard might perform some magic. And she would take her nap like an infant or two. It did not seem fantastic. Means it did not seem possible that she would get sleep very easily, because she is no more a small kid. She is 4 years of age. She is not getting sleep. That's some okay. And she would take her nap like an infant of two. She would no more take her nap. That means she would no more sleep like a small child of 2 years of age. Her brother Bobby was 2. She had a brother. He was only 2. And already asleep with his bottle, means a milk bottle. He is only 2 years of age. He already started sleeping. Jack asked, who shall be the story be about today? So he asked Jack and Joe. Jack the father, Joe the daughter. Who shall I tell the story today? Roger. Joe squeezed her eyes shut and smiled to be thinking she was thinking. As if she was thinking, she imitated and said, Roger. Her eyes opened, her mother's blue. See? Skunk, she said firmly. Yes, her eyes opened, see? Blue eyes like her mother's. And she said suddenly, skunk. See? Skunk is a squirrel-like, not squirrel, squirrel-like creature. It has some smell, some bad smell. That is, sting glands are there in their anals, which means this horrible smell by which they can escape from their predators. So nature has given every creature some way of escaping from the enemy or predator. This horrible, terrible smell is the way by which they can escape from their enemies and predators. Okay, skunk. It's a squirrel-like, not squirrel, squirrel-like creature. Just like that, long tail is there, and smell is there, horrible stinging smell is there. Others would run away from them, see, by which they can escape from their predators. Remember that, that's an important part in our story. Okay, skunk, she said firmly. So I want to hear the story of a skunk, she said. A new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. That means, I am not told, see, teachers are not telling the story. They might have been telling the story of a squirrel, elephant, dog, etc., but not about skunk. Actually, they should have been told it in the nursery class, LKG, UKG. That's why the girl has no idea about skunk. Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. Yes, now they have got a new hero of the story. It's a skunk, about which he has never told before. All these 2 years he had been telling stories, but he has never told a story about a skunk. So he became enthusiastic. All right, he said, okay, I will tell about a skunk. Once upon a time, story begins. The deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk. Once upon a time, in the forest, there was a tiny creature by the name Roger Skunk. And he smelled very bad. He smelled very bad. Yes, Joe said, right. He smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. Small child, a small baby, small creature. See, as he smelled so bad, his friends would not allow him to play with them because he was smelling very bad. He had no friends. He was alone because of this horrible smell. Yes, Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. A new twist. See, whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with zest, means enthusiasm, remembering some humiliations of his own childhood. Now he thought about his own childhood when he was isolated. he might have faced such kind of an isolation, maybe autobiographical. He thought about himself and his childhood. You see, all of the other tiny animals would cry, "Oh, oh, here comes Roger, stingy skunk." Sting means stinking smell, horrible. See, that is penetrating into the nose. Stinking smell. Okay. Oh, here comes that stinging skunk. They would run away. The smell was intolerable. And they would run away. And Roger's skunk would stand there all alone. Nobody is allowing him to play with them. He would be standing alone because they are running away because of this bad smell. Okay, and the two little round tears would fall from his eyes. He would shed 2 drops of tears. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with the forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger's skunk's tears. Just imitated how skunk was shedding tears. Won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. Our usual solution is that skunk should go and meet the owl, and owl would direct him to go to the wizard. Won't he see the owl? Now, for 4 years of age, our Joe has started to ask questions, not believing everything as it is told by the father. So she has started to ask questions, began doubting, asking why. So the development of a child is being discussed here. Okay, so she asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers tug at her legs, switched tensely. Covers. Okay, she was pleased with this. She removed the covers and she was happy with this moment. So a quite unexpected question. He was telling her something true, something she must know. Yes, he was telling her something that is true. You see, that means this story comes from his own bitter experience of childhood, that he was isolated by his friends in his childhood. Same story is being told about Roger skunk. Because of his bad smell, other children, other friends won't allow him to play with them. Okay, and he had no wish to hurry on, so he was telling everything slowly. Okay, so she is learning something real. But downstairs a chair scrapped, but he could hear some sound of a chair being moved, and he realized he must get down to help Claire, his wife, paint a living room woodwork. So actually he wanted to finish the story and make her sleep and go downstairs and help his wife. She was painting some woodwork. See, some household activity, some work was being done, and of course she was carrying, and she was very tired, and that is, we'll see in the later part of the story. And he wanted to finish the story and go back to his wife and help her, but the girl is not sleeping and he is not able to go. Okay, so downstairs he heard some sound. A wife is doing some work. He wanted to go there. Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree, our skunk. And in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. Yes. So he went and met the owl. Good, nice. She's accepting that. Mr. Owl, skunk said, all the other animals run away from me because I smell so bad. Other animals all are running away from me because I am smelling so bad. So you do, right? You are smelling so bad, said the owl. What a smell is this? The owl said, very, very bad. Right? You are smelling bad, very, very bad. What can I do? What can I do? Skunk said, and he cried very hard. The wizard, Joe shouted. So now Joe is telling the answer. You see, the possible solution. He must go to the wizard. And sat right up, telling that she sat right up. You see, stopped sleeping and sat right up, getting interested, curiosity. A little golden book spilled from the bed. You see, the book was there on her body. It just fell down from her. Now Joe, Daddy is telling the story. I see. You should not interfere with me when I am telling a story. Now Joe, your daddy, I am telling the story. So let me tell the story, don't interfere. Do you want to tell the daddy the story? Otherwise you do one thing, you tell the story. You tell the story and the daddy will listen. Okay, so now things are changing. Why? The girl wants to interfere and direct the story how it should go. Then daddy said, no. I am telling the story now. So you must listen. Or you want to tell the story to daddy? I will listen. Okay, you tell it. No, daddy. Me. You tell the story to me. No. I don't want to tell the story. You tell to me. Okay. Then lie down and be sleepy. That's a function now. Primary intention of telling stories is to make her sleep. You lie down and listen to what I say. Her head, relapsed into the pillow and she said, Miss fell back. So again she lied down. Out of your head. See? Out of your head. That means you imagine and tell it correctly. Not a written novel or something. Out of your head. Okay. Well, the owl thought and thought. The owl thought what to do. The bad smell of the skunk, how can be solved? And at last he said, why don't you go and see the wizard? The owl asked the skunk, why don't you go and meet the wizard? Daddy, again the girl telling, what? Are magic spells real? So in the midst of the story, she is asking some doubts. She is curious. She wants to know more and more. So curiosity is generated. And she is asking, why? What's that? Are magic spells real? See, wizard means telling some magic words, So, able to do perform some miracles, etc. The magic spells are real or not, or simply cooked stories. This was a new phase. See, the girl has grown up. She thinks for herself. She asks questions or on her own. Okay, she thinks for herself and she asking questions. Just this last month, a reality phase. Okay, so this was a new phase. Okay, it's a reality phase. So she is come to reality, asking questions and questioning him. Okay, when he told her spiders eat bugs. See, last month she turned to her mother and asked her, do they really? So the girl has begun to ask questions. She has begun to doubt and ask questions and get it clarified. When he told her spiders eat bugs. See, once he told her that spiders would eat bugs, she felt some doubt. Is it real or not? Immediately she turned towards her mother and asked her, Mummy, is it right? Children like that, no? Whenever you feel doubt regarding what daddy is saying, you will go to mother. Whenever mother is telling something, you feel doubt, you go to father. Okay, na? Yes. Do they really? And when Claire told her God was in the sky and all around them, when mother told her that God is in the sky, God is everywhere, in this universe, you can find the presence of God everywhere, she turned to her father and insisted with a sly yet eager smile, is he really? Is he really present everywhere in this universe? When mother told that God is there everywhere in this universe, she felt some doubt. Is it true or not? Then she turned towards her father and asked, what's that? Is he really? Is God really present everywhere in this universe? They are real in stories. Jack answered curtly. See, suddenly he answered, real in stories. She had made him miss a beat in the narrative. Yes, the owl said, go through the dark woods under the apple trees into a swamp over the creek. See, the owl is directing Rose Skunk to go and meet the wizard. See, under the apple trees and the swamp is marshy areas or a creek. See, what's a creek? He said creek. It's a river, little river. Over the creek and there will be the wizard's house. Yes, you go there, meet the wizard. And that is the way Roger Skunk went. And pretty soon he came to a little white house and he rapped on the door. He came to meet the wizard and knocked on the door. Jack rapped on the windowsill. See? And under the covers, Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. See, to make their story real, Jack knocked at the windowsill, window pane. Okay, now to make it real. That means he is introducing it as a real story. You see, acting like a dramatist or a player actor. You see, he himself tapped on the window to make it real. And you see, Joe's tall figure clenched in a little infantile thrill. So the child became so thrilled. And then the tiny little old man came out. Then came out the real wizard of the story. With a long white beard. You can imagine a wizard. Wizard means long white beard, old man, very long man, long white beard. And a pointed blue hat. Like a joker's pointed blue hat. And said, what is, see, what do you want? What's sir want? What do you want? That's the meaning. Conversation now, colloquial. What do you want? You smell awful. Why are you smelling so awful? The wizard's voice was on one of Jack's own favorite effects. Jack made it very effectively by imitating and acting like an old man with a strange kind of sound, an old wizard acting. He did it by scrunching up his face, means squeezing. You see, some kind of special effect is being made by changing some sound also. And somehow whining through his eyes. Whining actually making some sound. Okay, not through eyes actually. Some crunching is made on the face and acting like an old man, old wizard. Which felt for the interval. Rooming. So interval crying. Okay, so he made some sound and all to enact it and make it real. That wizard is talking. He felt being an old man suited him. Yes, he just felt being an old man suited him. That means he really enacted like the wizard, and the wizard is asking, what do you want? I know it, Roger Skunk said. I know I'm smelling bad, and all the animals run away from me. Yes, that's the problem. All other creatures are running away from me. The enormous wise owl said, you could help me. See, the wise wisdom owl told me that you can help me. Only you alone in the world can help me. Well, maybe. Right. Come on in. Don't get too close. Don't come very near. Come on, but don't come so near because you are smelling very bad. Now inside Joe, there were all these magic things all jumbled together in a big dusty heap. Magic things were all scattered around. You see? Because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady. Old man staying alone. There are no ladies to clean the house or keep things in order. Why? Because he was a wizard and a very old man. He's a wizard, no? Very old man. Maybe 500 years of age. Okay. Will he die? The girl is asking. No, wizards don't die. Yes, wizards will not die. Well, he rummaged around and round an old stick. He says around an old stick called a magic wand. Magicians, these magic people will have some stick will be there, decorated also. They would show like this and all. Okay, and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. How do you want to smell like? Roger thought and said, roses. I want to smell like roses. Yes, good. Joe said, smugly means self-satisfied, happily. Very good. Nice smell now. Smell of roses. Jack fixed the hair with a trance like gaze. Means look like a glaze means widely opened eyes. Looked and chanted in the wizard's elderly, irritable voice. Yes, he began chanting, uttering, murmuring that irritable voice of that wizard, telling that mantra, magical words to perform that magic. Okay, let us see what happens after performing the magic in the video number 2 or part 2. Otherwise, the video would be pretty too long. Okay, na? Thank you for watching. Meet you in the next video. Goodbye.